Hey guys, good afternoon. A little late getting the video out today. It's 5:30, January 29th on a Sunday here in the East Coast again. But um, today's vlog was going to be about telling my mom. I decided to tell her yesterday about me doing vlogs. And just to preface this, my mom is very supportive of anything I decide to do. Um, Pretty much any time that I decide to do anything in my life, she's always a huge supporter, huge fan of mine. But she did take a look at the content. She did like it overall, and gave me some good feedback, which is why I'm not wearing glasses anymore or a hat. But she did enjoy the content, and said the key word that I picked up after the conversation with her is that I was trusting. And I found that very reassuring. Not even something that I was considering, but I'm glad that that sort of feedback came back to me because I appreciate it. And like I said, it's not something I was thinking about, but I'm glad that I got that feedback. So I'm going to tie into a little bit more family today and just talk a little bit about that in my experience with family. I've had ups and downs like everybody probably with their families. Good relationships with my parents, bad relationships with them. Good relationships with siblings and bad relationships with them as well. Um, but I do believe that family is very important. There's going to be times in your life when you may need them, and times in their lives where they may need you for some reason or another. And you should always keep open lines of communication open with your family, even if you're at a distance. I noticed that when I was away from my family, the communication was a little worse. But that's understandable. You know, I was stationed in different places when I was in the military, and they were all very far from home. But I did my best to try and communicate with my family at least monthly to let them know what was going on in my life and any changes that were taking place. Um, but again, family seems to be a centerpiece in a lot of people's lives. Everybody has, in my opinion, some sort of family that they resort to, and they're almost your first line of people that you come in contact with in your life and set your boundaries and and limitations as well as to what to expect, what you can and can't do. Um, Give you your ethics growing up and play a huge role in the person you become or grow up to be. Um, Also, your friends have a huge influence in that, but today I'm going to stick on the family. So, as far as family is concerned, your family's always changing, the dynamics are always changing, they're always growing. Um, Sometimes they could be downsizing with death and things of that nature, but for the most part, they're growing. Um, I have a daughter now of my own. Um, she's 3 years old, and that's we're having thoughts about possibly having another kid now. And that change in family dynamic, I think, is going to be a huge challenge for myself and for our family altogether, and not just my immediate family like wife and daughter, but my not immediate family like grandparents and siblings, cousins, um, all the people that are going to be coming into our lives, or a future child's life. But I think family plays a really big role in kind of decisions that you make and paths that you decide to pursue. Um, like I said before, my mom uh, was not a big fan of me joining the military, and I went against her wishes as much as she wanted me not to go, just so I can kind of do something on my own, make a decision for myself, and see how the cards were going to be played for myself. Plus, the people who I knew in the military at that point in time were successes. there wasn't too many people in my life I knew in the military at that point in time that they were failures. There was a lot of prestige that came with it, but tying it back to family, I think looking back on it, did it make my mother upset that I went to the military? Yes. Do I regret the decision of going? Absolutely not. And I think that decision has kind of catered me into the person I've become today. And the morals and the things that I hold near and dear now, like family. I don't take family for granted like I did maybe growing up as a teenager. And there's a lot of things that go along with that. Everybody goes through stages in their life where, when you're a toddler and you're all about your family because you depend on them so much. And then as you transition through like the teenage and adolescent stage in your life, sometimes you want your space from your family because you've been with them for so long and you don't know, how to get away besides demand some space. And my experience, maybe that had something to do with me wanting to leave to the military. Maybe it was just a form of space. I myself have always been really independent, so didn't see a huge need to remain so close to my family at that point in time. I wanted my space. I wanted to do something different, and I did. But some people, like to remain close. I'm of Spanish descent. I'm Cuban, and it's very common for a couple generations of families to be in the same household. And that's not anything bad, it's just strong family roots. But sometimes things and people change along the heritage lines, and not saying that I did, but I definitely needed my space at that point in time, and that's kind of what led me to go and start my own future with, and possibly create my own family, which I ended up doing later on down the road. But again, I attribute a lot of my personality and a lot of my attributes to my family. Not just my mother, but my father as well, who unfortunately passed 10 days before I was born. But coming to find out that we shared a lot of the same personality traits that I find really interesting. And we can get into that maybe at a later date. But all those things kind of shape me into the person I've become today. And I just want to make sure that if you get anything from this video, know that family is important. Know that they're there for reasons. They're there to, guide you and to help get you to where you need to go. And you're there for them as well. It's not just a one-way road. I believe like this almost cyclic events happen where when you're young, your parents take care of you, and then as you get older and progress in age, and sometimes you end up taking care of your parents. And I find that rather reassuring, and it's almost like you get to pay them back for all the things that they did for you, whether they were good or bad. You get to help them now, and most of the time it's positive reinforcement that comes out of that. But you need to hold your family close. Again, not every time in your life is family going to be great, perfect. A lot of the times it may be imperfect, and you may have fights that come along the way, like certain things that develop in your life, and you just need to go with the flow and let things play out the way they do. And sometimes space can help with a family dynamic, in my experience. And sometimes that's what you need if things aren't going your way. Like I said, looking back on it and thinking about maybe space had something to do with me leaving for the military, maybe it didn't. I don't remember my frame of mind at that point, other than I wanted to try something different and make sure that I was doing it for me, not for anybody else, just like I'm doing these videos for me. And I'm actually looking to do these videos for other people as well, hoping they can take away something from my experience. So that'll be it for today. Definitely try to get with you guys a little bit earlier tomorrow if I can. I'll definitely put a video out. I just don't know what time. But I appreciate you guys watching. If you guys could leave comments, subscribe, or like or unlike videos just so I can get some sort of feel. I do have my first person that subscribed to my channel, which coincidentally is my mother. She said she, obviously did like the topic. She came over to my house today and was looking forward to my videos just as much as I am looking forward to doing them. It's just today was a little bit busier for me. So look forward to seeing you guys again tomorrow, and we'll see what comes with that video. Thank you guys again.